What is up, Wild Bunch? Welcome to day 73 of your daily vlog. I hope everybody's doing amazing out there today. Guys, today we're talking all about the 24-hour news cycle and how it impacts all of us. Is it making us better? Is it making us worse? Let's talk about it in the daily today, guys. Three days ago, a woman by the name of Nasim Agdam, a YouTuber who was upset about YouTube's policies and practices, upset that her channel was demonetized, stormed into the YouTube headquarters, opened fire, injured 3 employees, one of which is still in the hospital, then turned the gun on herself and committed suicide. That's pretty wild. That's a pretty wild story, right? That happened 3 days ago. That happened on Tuesday. It's terrifying and it's sad, but one underlying story to that I find really interesting is that happened on Tuesday, and when I look at subjects that are trending on Google Trends, like, that's nowhere to be found. That was 3 days ago that happened. Mixed martial arts fighter Conor McGregor, someone who's kind of been an inspiration to me. I mean, I've enjoyed watching him fight. I've enjoyed his antics. I love that he's so braggadocious, egotistical, even arrogant, some might say, cocky for sure. I just love it. I love it. I eat it all up. You know, I think it's great. But he turned himself into police yesterday, Thursday. He was arrested and charged with 3 counts of assault, 1 count of criminal mischief after his role in a fracas that left UFC fighter Michael Chiesa in the hospital with facial lacerations. The incident took place after a media event ahead of Saturday's UFC 223 at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Here's a video of what Conor did. McGregor appeared in handcuffs Friday afternoon in a packed Brooklyn courtroom where a judge set bail at $50,000, set a court date for June 14th. The judge also said McGregor, who is from Ireland, will be allowed to leave the country according to reports. Not as far as I know right now, he's a free man. He's went free. This topic, though, here's the story within the story. Again, okay? There's one story trending on this subject at number 14 in Google Trends, right? Now, it happened less than 24 hours ago as I'm recording this. We're talking about a UFC fighter, and you guys saw the video. He took a dolly, had to weigh at least 100 pounds, tossed it into a bus window. He could have killed somebody, to be honest. Could have just killed somebody. And the story is just like, it's moving so fast. The story, it's almost irrelevant. Listen, by Sunday, it won't matter anymore. It'll be irrelevant. Look, I gotta admit, you know, I've had this YouTube shooting thing on my mind the last couple days. And I just learned about the Conor McGregor thing tonight, so that's kind of been on my mind too. But one thing that's been on my mind underlying both of those events is the idea of this 24-hour news cycle and how fast everything moves. Right? It's almost like we don't have time to process things or really feel the weight of what happened because we get blasted with more news. CNN was the first company to kind of adopt this idea of a 24-hour news cycle. Cable company, cable TV channel, it was 1980, and they decided they were going to do news 24 hours a day, around the clock. How have 24-hour news stations affected society? I'm going to give you my opinions on it. Man, I want you guys to scroll on down to the comments. Let me know what you think about the 24-hour news cycle. How has it impacted you hearing news all the time? Just negative news, positive news, neutral news, crap that don't matter. People talking about what they had to drink this morning for breakfast. I mean, like, How has it impacted you? Let me know in the comments section what you think of the 24-hour news cycle that we live in these days. I want to hear what you think. You know, for me personally, it reminds me of this interview I watched that Jay-Z gave. This was back in 2013, and he was actually addressing a question asked to him about music. And his answer was profound to me, and I think his answer proved to be prophetic. Essentially, Jay-Z was saying he thinks everyone has to individually find a way to slow the process down, because everything is moving faster and faster and faster. He was talking about the world of music, but I think it's not just the world of music. I think it's the world that we live in, period. Society in general. Information is coming out at a faster and faster rate. And Jay-Z was talking about slowing your process down. And he was talking about the fact that he doesn't let anybody control his process. Like, he's going to decide what the soundtrack of his life is going to be, and what he's going to listen to, and how long he's going to listen to that record. And, you know, I walked away from that interview feeling like Jay-Z would put a record in his CD player or his car or whatever, and he might be jamming on that for 4 or 5 weeks, period. He's not going to listen to anything else but that, and he's going to stick with it as long as he wants to. He's not going to change his process. He's going to, you know, really take it in and absorb it. All the nuances of the record, you know, the lyrics, the instrumentation, the subtle changes, everything. He's going to take it all in. He's not going to worry about what society's doing or what everybody else is doing or what the new thing that just came out is. He's not going to worry about any of that. He's going to do what he wants to do. He's going to focus on his process. And I think Jay-Z was prophetic when he said that, because to me, that is where we are right now in society. News is coming out so fast that the 24-hour news cycle is really the second-by-second news cycle. There's always something new coming out. Most of it's not even newsworthy. But the stuff that is newsworthy is buried in a bunch of other stuff that might not really be newsworthy. Not to you, not to me. Maybe it matters to somebody somewhere, but not to many of us. It can really just bury you in a sea of news to where you don't have time to process things that probably should matter to you. I think that when that YouTuber busted into YouTube and started opening fire on people, I feel like that didn't get all the credit it deserves. I feel like more of us probably should have took pause and processed that a little bit more. Most people didn't know. I think that we need to slow our processes down on an individual level. Only you can decide how fast you take things in. Only you can decide what the soundtrack of your day is going to be like. What are you going to choose to focus on? When I think about most stories, like the Conor McGregor thing, what is the scenario that goes on in my mind when I hear about the Conor McGregor thing? I was a big Conor McGregor fan, but when I see a story like that, the story that goes on in my mind is, should I still like Conor McGregor after that? That was pretty horrible. He shouldn't have done that. But when I zoom out of it a minute and I just take a step out of it, it's like, who cares? Why do I worry about, why is that occupying a space in my brain? It has nothing to do with me. It probably doesn't deserve a space in my brain. That's for sure. And I think that's part of that 24-hour news cycle. You just get sucked into things, and you get sucked into forming an opinion on things, and all that does is increase your cognitive load, right? Because now you got a million freaking opinions floating around your head. Most of them don't need to be there. Most of them don't need to be occupying a space in your brain. Some of them probably should be occupying a space in your brain, but you're flooding your brain with more and more information that you have more and more opinions on. You're not even keeping track of anything. And to prove my point, all you have to do is look at the trending subjects on Google. That's all you have to do. Nothing trends for longer than 24 hours. It just doesn't trend that long. So I think we could all probably take a little bit of a lesson from Jay-Z, from that interview he did all those years ago, and just maybe really be a little bit more careful about what we take in and what we choose to have an opinion on, and how long we choose to process information. How long do we let something matter to us, right? Because I think too many of us are just letting information flow right through us, and we're not really taking the time to process some things that we probably really should process. I remember when YouTube changed those policies several months ago, and I gotta tell you, I was a little upset about it. I felt like they were really crapping on the little guy. I even did a video about it. But when that happened, I had no idea that someone would actually be so upset that they would take a gun, storm the headquarters, and open fire on people, and then commit suicide. My reaction to YouTube doing this new policy change was the exact opposite. I felt like they were crapping on the little guy, but I chose to start a new channel under the new policy changes and to see how long it would take me to get to 10,000 hours of watch time, to get to 1,000 subscribers, and to be able to monetize the channel. I saw it as a challenge, an experiment. I wanted to know what it took, genuinely. And that's where this Cam Fats channel came from, actually, from those policy changes. So it's funny how different people process information and how they react to it. I think that was a tragedy. And I think that we could all probably stand to process that information just a little bit longer than the 16 or 17 hours that it got attention. That's just me. That's my take on it. What's your take on the 24-hour news cycle? Are there things out there that you feel like didn't get enough attention, that feel like, man, but this was here, and as soon as it was here, it was gone? And I just feel like that deserved more attention than that. I feel like that was a big deal, and it just didn't get enough attention. Is there anything out there like that for you? If there is, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear about it. That's it. That's all I got for today, guys. God bless you. Be safe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. P.S. Don't forget, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a Chromebook or an iPod. It's up to the winner. I'll see you guys. Peace, everybody.